We're good. Okay. All right. So there was a request to record this, so we're recording it. So you can always go back and check it out. My goal here is to give you lots of options as you think about making a video. Okay. So some of these things will apply to some of you. Some of these things will not apply to you. And I'm going to show you a few online tools that you can use to both create and possibly edit some video. Some of them are free, some of them have a cost. So you're gonna just kind of find the thing that's gonna work best for you, okay? So we'll start with probably the easiest way to create video content, and that's with your cell phone. Okay, most of you probably have a smartphone. If you have a smartphone, you can shoot video. You probably know this. I've done a lot of video projects, and most of them I've done just using my iPhone, because the camera on my iPhone is as good, if not better, than the DSLR, the regular camera, and I can shoot video with, and I get just as good results from this. And this is an old iPhone 6, and it still does great. If you have anything beyond that, iPhone 6 with a dying battery and a cracked screen, thank you very much. If you have anything beyond that, it's going to be even better than that. So that's your first and easiest plan to create video content. Just record yourself. Okay? So if you have that, use that. Don't think that you have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive equipment. Okay? The one thing you need to think about when you're creating any video content is the best part of a good video is good audio. Okay? So for the nature of this particular project, I would suggest that you either do one of two things. Either do some sort of like voiceover where you record your voice in a nice quiet room. Again, use your phone. This perfectly good audio recording things on your phone. There's a really ridiculous picture of me floating around a private Facebook group that my colleagues and I, who are in my graduate program, share, where I was literally underneath a blanket with my laptop on my lap and my earbuds in my ear, recording a song that I was singing for a project we were working on in a class. So that's really all you need is a blanket over your head and your earbuds, and you can get really high quality audio. I was listening to an interview with Mike Rowe. He's the guy who does that show Dirty Jobs. And so they write the show in the hotel room at night, because figuring out where they're going to go the next day, and they write it after they've gone out and shot some of the stuff, and he literally does the same thing. That's where I got the idea from Mike Rowe. He puts a blanket in his hotel room over his head and records underneath the bed with his microphone, and that's how he puts out professional quality television on the Discovery Channel. So it's a thing. Okay, so don't think you have to be in a professional recording studio. Just quiet room is fine. So microphone built in your phone's probably okay. Microphone on your computers, those are hit or miss, to be perfectly honest. If you have a Mac, it's pretty decent. PC mics, I've heard some pristine ones, and I've heard complete and utter garbage. So test it, and if you think it sounds okay, go for it. Okay, if you listen to a lot of AM radio, have somebody else listen to it for you. Okay, because I had this conversation with somebody once. I'm like, why do you think that's acceptable audio? I don't know. And I asked him, I said, do you listen to a lot of AM radio? And the answer was yes, because there's just this different sound quality. So, yeah, so good audio is the way to go. Now, if you want to put yourself in the video and you actually want to record you in a chair, standing around, doing stuff, whatever, that's fine too. If you do that outside, I would recommend that you find a little lapel mic. Okay, you can get lapel mics that plug directly into your phone for about $15. Just check out Amazon or B&H Photo. I get a lot of stuff, and those of you who are online, I'll post a link to this, but it's bhphotovideo.com. Tons of amazing equipment, some super high-end professional stuff down to ridiculously cheap consumer-grade stuff. So you can just get a little lapel mic for a wired one for a few bucks and really record some nice quality audio. One thing about that, though, is if you have an iPhone, you have to get a special adapter or a special type of microphone specifically for the iPhone. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're looking for these things. If you don't know, just shoot me an email, say, hey, I found this, I'm thinking about getting it, this is the phone I have, will it work? And I'll be happy to look at it and tell you. Okay, but BH Photo Video, they're super fast. They ship really quickly, and you can find some really good stuff on there. Barry.
It's something several of you could go in together on, too.
Yeah, exactly. If everybody wants to pitch in $5 and share the microphone, you can get a decent tool, and then figure out who wants it in the end, or donate it back to the seminary. Yeah, donate it to the winner. There you go. One interesting thing about BH Photo Video, it's actually run by people who are Orthodox Jewish, so don't try to order things on a Jewish holiday, because you can't. Okay, so they've got the whole system locked down. Sometimes you'll be able to order, but they won't ship it. Sometimes you can browse, but you can't place an order. It really just depends. I don't know all the rules, so just keep that in mind. You might need a day or two buffer, but it's not holiday season I don't think, so I think you'll be okay. Okay, so that's a couple general things. Shooting on your iPhone or your whatever smartphone you have, and get decent audio somehow. Okay, and practice. Do a few test runs and make sure you think it's okay before you spend hours recording things. All right? Any questions about that before I show you some other tools that you can use to put some of these things together? Yes?
So if you're recording yourself and then you want to add audio, you're having to match up with your voice.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. Like if you have yourself on the screen and you're talking, you want to record that audio while you're recording the video. In which case, get one of these, plug it into your phone, and record it, and it'll pull the audio in while you're doing that. Yeah, you would never want to try to stitch those two together. Otherwise, if you've ever watched a movie from like the 40s, right after they started doing sound, they would do that. They would act, but they didn't have good recording equipment on set. So people would act, and they would literally re-record the audio over the top of it. And there's a lot of mismatch stuff. So yeah, you don't want to mess with that. You can spend hours and hours trying to get that done, and nobody has time for that. Good question. What else?
You could record a part of you speaking where you have the audio and video together, and then you could stitch that together with another piece of video.
Yeah.
Where you have the voiceover.
Yeah, you could record yourself audio and video, just narrate a whole thing, and then cut away from your video and keep using that audio in some sort of video editor. Absolutely. Speaking of video editors, let's talk real quickly about. Oh yeah, another question. Yeah.
The Bell mics, would you recommend wireless or a wired?
So wired one, you're looking at $15. A wireless one, you're looking at about $300. So it depends on what your budget is. My budget is $15. So then the wired ones, you can literally tuck it in your shirt and run it out your pant leg, and nobody will ever see it. They'll just see the little microphone on here, and it won't look too bad. And if you're sitting down, it's no big deal. And most of them have about a 15 or 20 foot cord on them, so they're yeah, it's very usable that way. Okay, so video editors. So I'm looking around. Some of you have Macs, some of you have PCs. If you have a Mac, if you have an iPad, if you have an iPhone, you have iMovie built in, and it's free, and it's really easy to use. So if you want to do some editing, I want to put some images, a title screen, stitch different video clips together, maybe throw some some sort of audio track in there, by all means, use iMovie. If you've never used iMovie before, it can be a little cumbersome. So depending on your time frame, when are these supposed to be done by?
February 7th.
February 7th?
I think I'm going to extend it a week.
Okay. So if you've never used a video editor before, it takes a lot of time to edit video. So when I edit kind of quick and just rough edits, I usually budget 3 to 4 times the actual time of the recording. So if I'm trying to make a 10-minute video, I only allow myself 30 to 40 minutes to edit it to get a pretty okay product. And I've been doing this for a long time. When I do workshops on this for teachers sometimes that are like, multi-day workshops. The first day I have them make a 5-minute video, and it often takes people about an hour. Okay, so plan on it taking a while if you've never done anything like this before. Okay, this is not something you can just slap together real quick. Okay, this is a substantial undertaking. Now, if you just want to sit in a chair and talk, then that takes you exactly as long to do that as it does to film the video. So if you don't want to invest a lot of time, you're like, I am in it for minimum requirement, not in it to win it. Okay, some of you might want that option. Seriously, like come down here, sit in one of those nice chairs over there, have somebody hold the camera for you and talk to the camera. In 5 minutes, you will be done. It's a reality check.
Might win, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a video project I had to do for one of my classes that I'm taking right now, and we had to present the findings. It was ridiculous. We had to present the findings of one of our research studies through some sort of artistic medium. Like, okay. So I decided to do a ridiculous song parody. And so I took an Aerosmith song and played it on my guitar, and I was just practicing it, and I was doing a mic check. And I'm like, I'll just record it to see how the microphone sounds. And I got through the end, I'm thinking, that was actually pretty decent. I'm just going to do that one. And I just turned it in. I'm like, it's good enough. I'll get a B. I'll move on with my life. And I did. It was great. So that might be what you want. If you really want to put a lot of time and energy in this, then you're going to want to edit the video. You're going to want to put a little production value into that. Okay. So let me show you a few options for that. The first option is actually going to be, sorry, I forgot to pull this up here. YouTube. In YouTube, you have a video editor. I don't even know if I have any videos on my YouTube account here, because I don't use it very often for posting videos on this one. Okay, look, I do. All right, so here's a video that I have. Yes.
Just for the sake of the recording, am I supposed to be seeing that on here? What you're putting up there?
Oh, yeah, you should. Something's going wrong with it.
Pause it for
Nah, hang on. I'll just edit it out later. Let me fix it real quick. This is a problem we've been having, and I'm working on a solution. I don't have one yet. This is one of those unplug it and plug it back in solutions.
There it goes.
Okay.
That works.
All right, sorry. So once you upload a video to YouTube, by the way, you have a YouTube account. By the nature of the fact that you have an RPTS email, since this is a Google Apps school, you have YouTube because that's part of it. So when you upload a video to YouTube, if you click on it, you can go over here to Editor, and you have some basic editing tools. Okay, so you can edit video directly in YouTube. Okay, I don't know if you knew that, but it's there and it's free. Okay, so you can add an end screen, you can add some blur, you can put a little card up there, you can trim things. So if I wanted to trim the beginning of this video, I would play it. So this was a video I made for a class. So I click trim, and I want to split it right here, and then I can click on this, and I can drag this over, and I can trim out the beginning part of it. Okay? Or I could trim the end if I wanted to.
What is a blur?
You can just blur stuff out. Let's see here. I've never actually used a blur. Hang on. Could probably just drag it up there. No, I can't. Sorry, I'll have to mess with it. You can, just blur a section out. And a card would be just like if you've watched a YouTube video and like a little thing pops up, like they're talking about something in one of their other videos, you could click on that, it'll take you out to that other video. It's just a link in the video. But this would be mostly if you just like want to trim the beginning and the end and clean it up a little bit. You can put some audio in here. So you can add an audio track, so plus audio. And to do that, it's going to kick you out to YouTube's audio list. Yes, thank you. Stop talking to me. And there's some free music that you can use to put behind your video. Don't try to use copyrighted music because YouTube will flag it and they'll block your video. Okay, so make sure if you're going to put music, use music you have the rights to use. And any of these audio tracks here, you have the rights to use by nature of the fact that they put them out there and allow people to use them. Okay, So keep that in mind if you're using any of these particular options. So you can do some basic editing in YouTube. Not very sophisticated, but some basic stuff. Now, if you want to get things a little bit fancier, there's something called Powtoons. This is for kind of creating little animations. And let me plug my audio in. I forgot I'm going to have some audio. We want to record that. All right, so let's see here. Let's pick a good one. How about ClassPass video ad or surf guide? Let's watch this little surfer guy.
There are thousands of amazing surf spots worldwide. Finding your perfect destination is almost
Oh, yes, I do.
impossible. It all comes down to the same question: where should I go to surf? But now, there is a solution. Introducing surfguide.com, the best possible surf travel planner. Surfguide.com is a unique, independent, and interactive search engine and community-driven platform.
Kicks in.
Connecting the dots.
It is good. Okay, so it's recording on the video.
You can quickly and efficiently locate surf regions, surf camps worldwide. Specify your month.
All right, so anyhow, we'll stop that. But you can kind of see some of the things you can do. And in Powtoons, it's literally drag and drop. You can also include in this some of your own video clips. Okay, so if you had a video clip, you could just add some little animations onto it as well.
So this Powtoons is also something where you can drag some music over what you're doing?
Yeah, and they have music that you can choose from in their system. So it's free that you can use it. Now there's lots of different pricing models for this one, but there is a free account. So just notice that, oh look, it's all these paid things. Go down here to get your free account. Okay? So now the free thing, you have a limit. It's going to have a Powtoon watermark on it. You have 3 minutes. That's all you get. I don't know how long these are supposed to be, but you have 3 minutes. I wouldn't make it longer than 3 to 5 minutes anyhow, because someone's going to have to sit and watch these. 3 to 5? Perfect. All right. And then you only get 100 megabytes of storage. So if you're like trying to upload a ton of video, you're going to max that out pretty quick. Okay? And when you share it, it's going to render in Powtoon. You can't like download it and put it in YouTube or anything like that. Okay? So that's the free account. But it is fairly easy to use. It does take a little bit of work to figure out, but it's kind of fun. I have my students when one of the classes that I teach, they have to give a presentation at the end of the class, and they're not allowed to use PowerPoint. So a lot of them end up using Powtoons because it's an easy way to do a presentation. Okay? All right. Another one you might want to check out is called Adobe Spark. Spark.adobe.com. So you can make still images like a slide with really nice graphics. You can also create videos in here as well. And let's see if I can find a sample one here. Spark Video, learn more. Okay, let's watch this one about some social cause. And I'll try to figure out why my audio is not working. So watch the video later and you'll be able to hear some audio. Or go back there and share the headphones with Dr. York. So you can throw video in here, edit it together. You can put some audio over the top of it, or some captions and stuff over the top of it. It's pretty simple to use, and I believe it's free. But you get an Adobe watermark on it as well. They might have some pricing things. I haven't looked at pricing in a long time, but I'm pretty sure they have a free account on this one. Here's pricing. Maybe. I clicked the pricing button, and it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, starting off for free, so they have something free. But you probably do have some sort of limitation. You could continue. Like with Google, you just use your RPTS account for that. So those are two pretty simple, basic, and they have free options for you. And so if you don't have a video editor on your computer, I don't know if Windows machines are even coming with a video editor anymore. They used to come with Windows Movie Maker, and I think they stopped putting that on around Windows 8 or so. So I don't think it's a thing anymore, and I haven't used a PC in a long, long time. So I don't know what the default software is. So I would recommend one of these online ones, because then you can do it anywhere. You could use Computer Lab here, you could do it at your in-laws' house, you can do it at home, and you always have access to the stuff because you just need to log in. Okay? All right, now questions. Yes, sir.
How do you get to that YouTube Google account?
Okay, so if you are in your RPTS mail, let me just go to my RPTS mail. There. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. So if you are in your mail, TikTok. There we go. Okay, so here's my RPTS email. If you click on the little tic-tac-toe thing up there, somewhere in here you'll see YouTube. You might have to scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
And you click on that, and it should take you out to your RPTS YouTube account, which mine did. Then click the little camera right here where it says create a video or post, and you can either upload a video or record something live. And once you have something uploaded, then you can use the editor in there.
Can you go back to where you say click the little camera?
Yeah, it's right up here.
I'm not seeing it.
You don't have a camera in the upper right next to your picture?
No, got a bell and
What's next to the bell?
an arrow.
Oh, you click the, yeah. Oh, sorry, this one. That's the upload. Yeah.
Oh, then you create a channel.
Oh, yeah. The first time you log in, you'll have to create a channel. It'll say, do you want to use this account? You just go yes, and boom, you have a YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yep. Good. What else?
So I don't have a Mac, so I was looking for different softwares. I came across Shotcut.
That-
Familiar with it at all?
Never heard of it, never used it. So couldn't tell you anything about it. What other questions do you have? Okay. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Recommendations on lighting.
Recommendation on the lighting. Yes, get good lighting. The best lighting you will ever have when you make a video is outside. So if you're outside and there's even okay sun, this is Pittsburgh, and okay sun is about as good as we get. So it's always going to be better than shooting inside. If you do want to shoot inside, you'll notice in here we have these lights up on the ceiling. We've got them over in the chapel as well. That's because this room is way too dark to record video. It's barely bright enough with these lights in here. You can seriously go to YouTube and just do a quick search for 3-point lighting system, and it'll tell you how to set up lights to make yourself look really good. There's going to be 2 in front of you and 1 over your head. Okay, so these ones right here are casting light on the top of my head and my shoulders. And what that does is it sets you away from the thing, whatever's behind you. It just kind of makes you pop from the background. Ideally, you want to be about 5 feet from there, but we don't have enough room in here, so we're about 3. Okay, that's why the podium's right here. Then you've got 2 lights. You'll notice I have 2 on this side and I have 1 on this side. Okay, these are actually on dimmers as well. So if I want to get some nice shadowing, I would have a bright one and a dimmer one. Okay, so that's one way to do it. You can literally just set lamps up in your house. I have these little clamp lamps that I got at Home Depot. I think they were $6. I just clamp it onto something. I put a light bulb in it. It's got this little metal, little reflector thingy, and you can set up a really nice 3-point lighting system with less than $20 worth of stuff that you get from Home Depot. If you have a little dimmer switch, even better. So that's good light, and then a quiet room with a decent microphone, and you can have pretty sketchy video if you've got decent audio and pretty okay lighting. How's that for a committal? Let's see. There's something else. So when you're actually planning the video itself, there's a few guidelines you're going to want to think about, and think of this as telling a story. Okay. So when you, oh, and I wanted to show you this. Let me go to the RPTS YouTube page. If I can find it. Oh, you know what? Let me use Firefox. That's my default one there. I want to show you the video that the company who helped us make our new website did for us. And you probably have seen it on the RPTS YouTube channel or on the website or something. Oh, goodness. All this to get a password. Here we go. I just have too many email accounts. I can't remember them all, so I have to have a password manager. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay, so where did it go? Sorry, I'll find this. Oh well, I don't want to waste our time. Tell you what, let's do this one, since it's right here.
Soon after the organization of the Reformed Presbytery, now the Reformed
No,
Presbytery.
that's not the one I thought it was. We don't have any audio in here. Anyhow, when you have time, go to the RPTS YouTube channel. The reason I was going to take you there is because you can kind of see how they have it laid out as a story. And think about telling a story. There's going to be some sort of introduction. There's going to be maybe a little tension. There's going to be some sort of story arc that's going on here. There's going to be a resolution to maybe some sort of conflict, and then you kind of wrap it up. Okay, so people who are more literary minded than I am are going to know more about this thing. I was a science teacher, so don't shoot me. But think of it as a story arc. Okay, you have to kind of get into it. You got to build up to it. There's going to be some sort of climax, and you're going to take it out. Okay. That's what you need to think of when you're actually building video. And I would recommend that you kind of sketch out what you want it to look like. And just get a few pieces of paper, maybe draw like a tic-tac-toe on it, and you've got 9 screens. Think like a comic book. Okay? And so as you go through that, think about, what do I want it to look like? What do I want it to say? Do I want it to be of me? Do I want it to be of something else? Do I want it to be a picture of a bird? Do I want it to be to have text on there? Think through what you want it to look like and map it out. Then, next step, I would recommend that you record your audio, and then you put your video built on your audio track. I find it easier to do it that way. You can do video first and then do a voiceover, but then I always feel rushed and like I'm stumbling over stuff. I feel it's more natural if you record the audio just as you would do the audio, and then build the video around that. Okay? And that's assuming you're going to do some editing. If you're just going to sit in a chair and talk, sit in a chair and talk and do your thing. But yeah, think of how you're going to tell a story. And I would recommend that you script this, especially since you only have 3 to 5 minutes. That's not a lot of time. And I find it much more difficult to do a 3 to 5 minute presentation than a 30-minute presentation. I can talk about anything for 30 minutes. I've already done it. I just hit 35. Okay? But 3 minutes is insane. Like, you really have to know exactly what you want to say. So I would strongly recommend you script it and practice it a few times, and then record it, and then build your stuff from there. Otherwise, I guarantee you it's going to be 7 to 10 minutes. And that's just too long. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants 10 minutes. We want 5. Professor York doesn't want to watch 10 minutes of your videos. He wants 5. Yeah, okay, there you go. Disqualified. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Any questions about that? About the kind of the storytelling aspect or storyboarding or anything like that? All right, so you've got some tools, you've got a little bit of technique. Seriously, the best way to do this is just to get in there and start messing around with it and start recording some stuff. Have a general idea of what you want to do. Start recording, start playing, start editing. Eventually you're going to want to rip your hair out, just stand up and take a break, come Come back to it the next day. Don't try to do this the night before. Work at it in stages. Okay. As a chronic procrastinator, trust me, I understand the temptation. Like, oh, I can do that, and the night before, no, you can't. Okay. Don't wait. Yes, sir.
And we all have friends in these areas that are much smarter than we are about it, so if you can do some of the basic recording, and then often you can go find someone in the church or.
Yeah, for the sake of the recording, if you have friends who are more skilled in this area, recruit them, have them help you, have them give you pointers and give you tips on how to do this stuff. Like I said, I can help you with hardware. I can help you with recommendations. I probably am not going to be able to give you step-by-step tutorials on how to use some of the software. Because I don't know how to use all of it, and that takes a ton of time. But there are a million tutorials on YouTube on how to edit video in iTunes, or how to make a Powtoons, or how to do all this other stuff. And watch them. Most of these companies that produce this stuff have short 3 to 5 minute tutorials on how to use a specific feature. So you're like, how do I add music to this thing? How to add music to Powtoon. Enter. And I guarantee you there will be a link to the Powtoon website that has a short little video clip that tells you exactly how to do it. And probably a text tutorial page as well. Okay? So start there. If you're really stuck, then you can ask me. But yeah, I may or may not be able to give you the advice that you need. But I'll tell you. I'm like, if I can help you, I will. If I can't, I'll probably say, I'm not going to be able to answer that question for you. Okay? Other questions?
I've got lots of them.
That's all right.
So if you're wanting to read your script, would you recommend some sort of teleprompting, assuming you're doing like sitting in the chair kind of recording?
Yeah, if you're sitting there recording, there's some free teleprompter apps that you can put on a tablet. I don't know of any off the top of my head, but I've used them in the past, and I literally just searched teleprompter in the App Store and found one, and literally duct taped my iPad to the tripod that the camera was on, and it was like right by the camera. And you can adjust the scroll speed, and that's a great way to do it. That way you're not looking all over the place or looking down at a cue card or anything. It's pretty handy. Yeah, good question. So teleprompters are handy if you're just going to sit and read.
Does RPTS have a tripod that we can?
Does RPTS have a tripod? There are tripods floating around. I'm trying to think where they are.
Hold a phone.
Like to fold a.
I have a phone tripod that's like this big, but it does hold it, so if you want to borrow it.
Yeah, there's little tabletop tripods, and if you go get a $5 selfie stick from Five Below and take the little top part off, you can unscrew it. It'll have a standard tripod mount on it that you could then screw it onto a tripod, just put your phone on it, and yeah, just don't let your friends see you buying a selfie stick.
I have a tabletop tripod.
Oh,
With a
okay,
video camera on it
great,
that you could use if you wanted.
excellent. There are some other ones. Wherever the RPTS DSLR camera is that occasionally comes out, Kim Backenstow might know where it is. Or Mark Sampson might know where it is, but I'm not positive. You'd have to ask. I haven't seen him in a while.
But RPTS might be willing to let us use such a thing.
Probably RPTS would be willing to let you use a tripod, yes. Good, other questions?
I might just make a couple of quick comments.
Sure. Do you want to record yourself making these comments?
Well, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to have to stand close to you, unless you want my battery back. Okay.
We are thankful for your help in this area, because this is not my area of expertise by any means, and Aaron's often helping me, so very thankful for Aaron helping with this. I do want to just stress a few things. The reason I'm having you do this is not just because someone offered the money, although that's certainly sweetens the pot, but the idea of using technology to communicate God's truth is something I'm really wanting to encourage you to learn to do in different ways, because it's just part of ministry life anymore. So this is a great way to exercise that. So that's one thing. And secondly, I really want you to work. The most important thing is the content. It isn't the fancy video stuff that you can do. Creativity is one of the 5 areas this has been great on, so you do want to show some creativity, but the creativity isn't just in, you dimming the lights or getting fancy camera angles or graphics or whatever. The creativity is part of the content as well, how you're expressing yourself, the story you tell. Thirdly, remember that what we're focusing on is taking a psalm fragment, because you can't treat a whole psalm in 3 to 5 minutes, taking an idea of a psalm, telling a story, relating it personally to your own life, revealing Christ in that, and trying to encourage and apply that to other people. That's what we're really looking for, is this, as Aaron was emphasizing a moment ago, is a story-telling aspect of that. So those are the really key things I want you to focus in on in doing this. And, there is, quote, money at stake, and it'd be great if you win. But in one sense, just seek to glorify God, right? You just want to glorify God, and even if you don't win, make this a tool that you can use. You can put it up on your student profile. You can share it with others on Facebook, wherever. And it's just another way that we're taking what so often is used for ungodly and wicked means, this media, and using it to spread our faith and glorify the Lord. So just keep those things in mind.
All right. Any other questions for me or Professor York?
Me? Yes, sir.
Who should we think about as our audience? Because that does sort of help us guide our storytelling.
I definitely don't want you to be thinking of your audience as the professors or the judges of the contest. I don't want it to be that. I want you to be thinking about, I could see it be one of 2 main audiences. One, it could just be the church. You're trying to encourage the church. But it could be evangelistic. So you're wanting it to be for anyone who wants to listen. So you'll have to take it, and then part of that will come out in what you say at the beginning, how you set it up, who you're actually speaking to. Somebody could make one for children. You could just decide, I want to do one that's just for children. So the audience really is in some ways up to you, but I think it's important to think about as you're raising their Zach.
More of a technical question for you, Barry,
A
actually.
technical for me.
If we're thinking 3 to 5 minutes, can it be 5 minutes and 59 seconds? Like, how do we measure that?
No, I want it 5 or under.
Okay. So
Yes, just stop at 5. So you're going to have to, and part of you know me, you shouldn't even ask that, right? It is hard.
In the scripts and yeah.
But do you know that most people, and Aaron can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but a lot of people won't even look at a video if it's more than 90 seconds. So going 3 to 5 is actually quite lengthy anyway, just if you're trying to get this to be seen by other people. A lot of people like the real short videos. I'm thinking of like you're scrolling through Facebook or something. If you start seeing too much of a time commitment, you're not on Facebook to stay in one place for too long anyway. So we think the 3 to 5 is a good number to shoot for. Good length to shoot for. Any other questions?
Others?
This was helpful, right?
Oh, yes.
Good. I'm happy to stick around for a few minutes if you have other questions after or want me to look at anything. If you've been searching for microphones or anything online, just let me know. I can stick around for another 15, 20 minutes or so. And then I'm actually going to be up in the office helping Vicki with a couple things. So if you need to pop your head in there too, do that. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Can you hit the stop same button?